Hello and welcome to this video where I'll be sharing with you some tips that I've learned on how to enhance your chances of serendipitous research discovery. I'm Rachel Herbert, a Senior Research Evaluation Manager and an Associate at the International Centre for the Study of Research at Elsevier. My group looks at ways in which to advance research evaluation strategy in all fields of knowledge production, and we've been considering the role of serendipity in research. We might not easily be able to capture or evaluate it, but can we prepare for it? There are some well-known examples of discoveries brought about seemingly by chance. Perhaps most famously, there's the accidental discovery of penicillin after a petri dish was left unattended. Post-it notes made use of an adhesive that had been developed 12 years earlier while trying to create a really strong adhesive. And the sweetener sucralose was discovered when reportedly a grad student helping with a project to develop insecticides heard the word taste instead of test. But we also consider other moments of serendipity. Let's not think of just the discoveries, but the range of different moments that come about unexpectedly and often change the way you think about things. It may be a previously unseen connection brought about by people or technology. It may be a happy accident, or it may be something you try to engineer by looking outside of your domain for input on a project. So while chance is involved, serendipitous discovery might not all be down to luck. The more we're able to recognize serendipitous moments, the more interest there is in the role that serendipity plays in scientific discovery. It's been linked to research excellence and breakthroughs in every field, and many Nobel Prize winners are quick to emphasize the role of serendipity in their achievements. In fact, in 2016, 17% of researchers responding to an Elsevier survey said that serendipity contributed to scientific discoveries. Other observers say that figure is much higher. Whichever way you look at it, serendipity is a critical concept for research, perhaps never more so than now. Many believe the solutions to the urgent and global challenges we face lie in multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary research, ideal breeding grounds for serendipity. As recognition of the value of serendipity in research continues to grow, many institutions are considering how they can create an environment in which it can flourish. And likewise, researchers, you can consider individually which skills you can hone to improve your chances of serendipitous discovery. But first, if we want to enhance serendipity, we need to understand it. And the past few years have seen an increasing number of researchers attempt to do just that. The Serendipity Society's co-founder Laurie McKay-Peat and fellow researcher Elaine Toms have attempted to chart the various stages involved in a serendipitous discovery, from the initial trigger or information encounter to the outcome. For these researchers, various factors have the power to influence, both favorably and unfavorably, each stage of the four-step process, and can even result in someone else identifying the valuable outcome. These factors might be external, for example, how an information space, such as a library, is designed, or internal, relating to the actions of an individual. Serendipity is also believed to be cyclical. When serendipitous opportunities are missed, these experiences incubate in the observer's mind, becoming part of the conditions that allow them to perceive the next trigger they encounter. With studies suggesting that serendipity is itself a process, it makes sense that optimizing that process will likely increase the likelihood of a serendipitous event. This thinking is informing the design of tools, buildings, experiments, and more. But how effective are these initiatives, and what steps can those involved in the research enterprise take to optimize serendipitous discovery? Well, let's walk through 5 steps that aim to enhance your chances of serendipitous discovery. Firstly, how to prepare your mind. Secondly, looking beyond your discipline. Thirdly, creating casual collisions. Fourthly, embracing failure and experimenting. And fifthly, doing what you can to develop a psychologically safe environment. Firstly then, how to prepare your mind. What's emerged from some research on this topic is that serendipity is a skill, an ability to make use of the opportunities that present themselves. In other words, the individuals who benefit from serendipity are those who are ready and able to see it. So can we learn to be prepared? The general view is yes. In researcher Christian Busch's book called The Serendipity Mindset, The Art and Science of Creating Good Luck, the author advises individuals to be open to plans going awry and to consider the idea that the unexpected can be our ally that allows us to connect dots. He also believes in letting go of rigid plans. Consider the difference between a student, for example, saying to their tutor, "I know exactly what I want to do," and "I'm not really sure yet which specific perspective I should pick. Can we talk?" The link between personality and serendipity has also been investigated. In the context of encountering information, 4 personality groups have been identified based on our ability to recognize and benefit from serendipity. The groups range from non-encounterers, those who find it difficult to recall information encountering incidents, to super encounterers, people who not only encounter information on a regular basis, but appreciate its importance. And the happy news is that it is possible to increase your sensitivity to serendipity, in this case to become a super encounterer. Firstly, believe you are one. Believe that you can spot the clues and make the connections. Secondly, make headspace. Super encounterers often report that they find value or meaning information they've encountered at unexpected moments, doing the washing up or walking the dog, or presumably while in the bath. And it's worth noting that super encounterers can find the connections between information and other people's work, so be mindful of your other colleagues' endeavours. Other studies suggest that our temperaments play a role in determining just how prepared we are. For example, it's been demonstrated that students were more likely to be receptive to incidental information acquisition if they had an energetic personality, high motivation, and positive emotionality. That doesn't mean, however, that only extroverts will experience serendipity in research. It might be fair to say that extroverts may interact and encounter information more often, but as we're showing here, that's only part of the journey. Secondly, consider how you collaborate. When it comes to serendipity, it seems the more brains, the better. No single observer, however attentive and lateral-minded, will pick up on every opportunity. And consider that the effects of team science may not be immediate. It could be years later that someone else spots the potential in a discovery. So consider what opportunities you have. Can you opt for multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary research projects, for example? Can you present your work to other experts, both in your field and adjacent ones? Perhaps submit to a conference slightly outside of your regulars. If you do, be receptive to doubts and critiques, as they may lead you somewhere unexpected yet rewarding. With this third idea, to create casual collisions, you might be pleased to hear that there are tools to help you. Serendipitous discovery often seems to be sparked by the information we share during water cooler moments, those unplanned conversations. Your immediate working environment might dictate who you can meet to an extent, but look beyond that. Other events, academic, professional, or social, within other departments at your institution that you could attend. Chance in-person encounters are a popular route to serendipity, but you also have virtual options. Tools like Spark Collaboration, Coffee Roulette, and AirMeet enable professional networking, allowing you to meet people outside of your field of expertise. Explaining your research to a non-expert can be a learning experience for all involved. In embracing serendipity, you also embrace failure. The two come as a pair. You may get lucky with your failures and be the next on the list of world-renowned discoveries, or you may need to work to understand smaller failures and find ways to convert them to success. Accidental failures are one thing, but there's another concept that the brave might try. One researcher, Ohid Yaqub, has studied the concept of serendipity in detail and believes that we can enhance the chances of serendipitous discovery through careful loosening of the controls on experimental design and by creating room for controlled sloppiness. I'll leave you to work out how much of that you can allow in your work. For many experts on this topic, the key is not only to make room for errors, but feel able to admit to them, publish them, and even celebrate them. Researchers are often risk-averse, and negative results often go unpublished. But if we don't acknowledge and embrace failures, we risk not learning from them. This feeds into another important ingredient for enhancing serendipity, the feeling that you can contribute ideas or make mistakes without being judged. This concept of psychological safety is seen as critical, but isn't always present, and I leave it here as number 5 in this list, as no one individual has complete control over this. Your institution's culture, the power dynamics, and even individual personalities can influence the level of psychological safety that you experience. Nobel Prize winners are safe to recognise the serendipity or luck that helped them along the way. Other researchers, particularly those at an early stage of their career, might not have that same security. But there is growing understanding of the benefits, and when in place, psychological safety allows a team or group to contribute ideas, make mistakes, fail, pivot, and pursue the results of accidents, all of which boosts the chance of serendipitous discovery. So there you are, a whistle-stop tour of 5 ideas for you to consider. If you want to read more about this topic, you can read a full report from the International Centre for the Study of Research. The report incorporates expert interviews in the published literature, and it includes 8 practical steps for an institution to consider that will help boost serendipitous discovery. So if you found this useful, do share the link with others at your institution. Thank you for watching this video. Check the rest of this page for the references and further reading.